got that glammy. It hold tight and never let go. Oh no, I want some real, real love, some real good love, the kind of love that makes my toes curl. Oh God, I want some real, real love, some passionate love that keeps me wanting more and more, for sure. When she's far away, on bended knees I pray that not for long she'll never, never stay. I want some real, real love, some real good love, the kind of love that makes my toes curl. Oh gosh, I want some real, real love, some passionate love that keeps me wanting more and more, for sure. Some real good love, I'ma tell you. I want some love. Give me real good love now. When she's far away, on bending knees I pray that not for long she'll never, never stay. I want some real, real love, some real good love, the kind of love that makes my toes curl. Oh gosh, I want some real, real love.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ben Noir. This is Johnny Mystic, and this is Mystic Noir 15 Reggae Vibes. Tonight we have an awesome show planned. We have Jahamed in the house. We have John Hewitt, and we have Ricardo Riquettes, a tribe of Djembe. Yes, I. Tonight, I love reggae music, and it's just such a beautiful sound and a feel-good music. We'd like to thank our sponsors. First of all, our premier sponsor, that's Leah Totzer, Daniel Gale, Sotheby's Realty. Thank you so much. Tonight, we're excited because here in Belmore is this delicious, wonderful place. It's called the International Delight Cafe. So thanks to Lara and all the staff there. They have 85 to 100 flavors of gelato, depending on what time of year it is, including vegan gelato.
Great gelato.
It's amazing, right, Johnny?
Great gelato, great food, chili, chicken sandwiches, pastrami. What else have we had?
All the vegan delights.
Exactly. We're true.
No, they have a real mix of stuff over there. So follow them on Instagram. Go to their website. We also like to thank Your Hudson Valley Life. That is Stephanie Badillo, and she's also a new sponsor. Thanks so much. And you can follow her. She has beautiful properties to show you up there. And if you're looking for a change, a lifestyle change, you can head up to the Hudson Valley and check that out. What else? We'd like to thank all of our different sponsors. So we have the cafe located at New York Avenue in Long Beach, still having live music on the weekends, beautiful menu, beautiful artwork in there. Michi Cohen is selling a few of her pieces, and they'll have different artists within the next few months, including Lillian Resnichik, and I believe also someone from West End Arts. So check that out. We also would like to thank The Cabana, Bob Johnson. He's a great guy. He's always supporting live music, and we really appreciate his support of Arts in the Plaza for many years as well. And Arts in the Plaza is one of our sponsors, including Studio Noir. That's my music school, private music school. And you could record there. We do virtual lessons on Zoom and FaceTime, and it's a great scene over there. I teach a lot of different instruments: violin, viola, cello, guitar, piano, harmonica, banjo, mandolin, saxophone, drums. But enough about me. We're going to go to Beyond Zen. Beyond Zen, she is a healer. She's a beautiful person. That's Nicole Fader. And she provides card readings, spiritual card readings, also some massage therapy, also Reiki and other healing arts. You can check her out at ZenGirl19. That's her Instagram. Did I forget any? Oh, no, I did not forget. Angel Flower Creations. That's Yvonne Santana. She's very supportive as well. Makes custom jewelry and masks and mask holders. And thanks so much to all of our sponsors. I think I got everybody right in there. Also, shout out to Steve Vaccaro and the New York Photo Video Group located here in Belmore. They're great wedding photography, and they also do other production. So, yes, we have Jahamed in the house. We have Ricardo Ricketts in the house and John Hewitt. I learned how to play reggae with Ricardo's band, Tribe of Djembe. And, and through that, the bassist in that band, Ian Grant, introduced me to Jahamed, who, invited me to a studio called The Front Room in Brooklyn. And that's where I met John Hewitt, who recorded us. And I play on many of his works. So we'll talk about that together. So blessings in the name of Jah Most High. We would like to play a clip called Lion of Judah. And it's from, I believe, the Jah Is Everything album from Jahamed.
The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain and give us the victory again and again. Dominus, Kichwa Ana Abaka Nakuna Shekwa Jah Rastafari, I, ever living, ever sure, ever faithful. Selassie.
All right, welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, thanks for coming out. I don't know what else I really want to start off with. That was a beautiful clip, the Lion of Judah. So you grew up in Jamaica. You were born in Jamaica.
Yes, I was born in Jamaica.
So tell us a little bit about your background and your history.
In Jamaica, really, I met this guy. His name is John Holt, famous singer, the guy who made The Tide Is High popular. And he took me under his wings and teach me how to coordinate, how to shape my mouth to carry certain notes, and from there everything just blossoms. I did something with a group called the Maytones. Then I migrated to the U.S., and from there I met my lady. We did a tune called Ordinary Natty. She was the producer. And we continued doing work, and my brother now, he got involved into playing bass, and I was with a band called the Outer Limits. Yes. Move up to a band called Jamala, and a couple of pickup bands and stuff. Right now I'm featuring a lot of music with Mr. John. He does a lot of the work for me, which right now I don't think I would find any musicians away from John and away from Benoit, putting some super licks on my stuff, making what wasn't really that important. You know what I'm saying? Making it special. Now I realize that he plays saxophone. So now you're going to be hearing a lot of saxophone on my stuff. I grew up in a rough part of Kingston. It's called McGregor Gully, where you have to prove yourself, who you are, what you want to be, and where you want to go with life. If not, you wind up dead. Well, I choose music. I started out in the church, then in the school choir, and I had a friend by the name of Scooter J. He is the leader for a group called the Jays. They did songs like Queen Majesty and them kind of stuff. He used to go in his speaker box, which was made out of cardboard, and I would go in my speaker box that's made out of cardboard too. and he would sing. We would have sound clashes. You know, my favorite stuff was some Delroy Wilson, "I'm Not a King," them kind of stuff. You know, I used to do that, and he used to sing his thing. He does a lot of cover American stuff, but his group, I never get the chance to really work with them, but you know, they was pretty good, pretty awesome. He have a style, you know, very like a Curtis Mayfield kind of a thing he was doing. Yeah, I stick to my original stuff, the Rude Boy stuff, and you know, it carries me through. So here I am between two legends, Mr. John and Mr. Benoit.
Oh man, thank you for that compliment.
Now I'm meeting another John, which
Another legend.
I find out he's another legend. You know, yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, man, so blessed. We're so blessed to have you here. And can you? So you know, all right. You grew up in Jamaica. You started there. You came. You work with some big people. You came here. I was looking through your discography online. I was doing some research. It said 1977, and it gave something. Can you explain a little bit about that time period and sort of flow?
77. I was with the Outer Limits. You know, which was like a band, a New York band, where the reggae popularity wasn't that much. You'd go and you'd do something into a club and nobody would cheer. But when you finish playing, somebody would come and say, "Oh man, you guys was awesome." But while you're working, you know, to give you encouragement, you know, for you to motivate and do better, nobody would do that.
New York.
Then we started going to certain clubs, you know, my father's place and them kind of places, where we start getting the recognition that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? After doing it. So right now we paved the way for a lot of people in the business in Jamaica to have success in America and other parts of the world. You know, because when we started, wasn't much people into that music. They would say, "Oh, that's coconut music." They was more into calypso. They didn't want to hear reggae.
Yeah.
And we persevere till reggae is where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? And the younger generation is even taking it further. They have this music they call dancehall, which is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Not my cup of tea, but it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Just that I cannot get into that yet. You know, I'm a little whole head. You know, a little brain's getting a little bit slow. But I stuck to the rubber dub stuff. That's what I love. Rubber dub.
And you have such a sweet voice, a sweet sound, you know, melodic sound. You know, not everybody can sing like you. And you know,
Well, I was taught by the best. To me, the best voice that ever come out of Jamaica. You know, there's other little islands, you know, had good singers. But to me, the best that ever did anything is Mr. John Holt, the Honorable Mr. John Holt.
Amen.
I will be forever in his debt. I will be forever singing his praises for what he teach me. You know, Mr. John Holt. The guy who made the Titus Power is high, popular. Him? Phew. I love that man. He lives in my heart until today. Mr. John Holt. Yes, that's where I get the melody, the styling from Mr. John Holt.
beautiful. And there's a few Johns here right now. We have Johnny Mystic, of course, and we have John Hewitt.
It's look like anything that positive with me comes through the line of Johns.
And John is a great player. He is your producer engineer on many of your albums and recordings. I had the pleasure of meeting him and working with him. He's very professional, very. He's a craftsman. He knows what he's doing. That was Real Love. He produced that album, that track. Jaws Everything. We're about to listen to the song Jaws Everything. His credits include playing and touring with Eka Mouse, also playing and touring with Taj Weeks and Odawa. Is that correct?
Adawa, yes.
And both of those artists are very big and well known and have an awesome sound. So welcome to the show, John.
Give thanks.
You want to tell us just a little bit about yourself too?
Basically born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Barbadian parents, Bajan heritage. Started music early age. Originally classically trained, which is, I guess, a stretch in some imagination, but classically trained, but always loved all music. A lot of the roots of Barbados was calypso and spooge, stuff like that, old music. So I was brought up in a mix of music. My older brother was a musician also. He started playing, so that's where I got the vision to that I could do it. And, we started a band from when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, in Brooklyn also.
What was the name of that?
Shout out to Technique Band. Shout out to the guys. So we used to play everything. We played from calypso to some salsa, so everything. A little mixture of everything. Waltz, music, everything. So I was always a fan of all music, but reggae just had a certain place in my heart, as far as the liberation of just the ideas of reggae, the ideas that they put down in reggae music. But so that always stuck to me and always had a place in my heart. And also His Majesty, and his teachings, also wrapped into one, and big place in my heart, and it just stayed there. Although I still love all music, but I do a lot of reggae.
It's a spiritual thing. There's a spiritual connection.
Definitely, spiritual release, spiritual. So,
Haile Selassie. That's the Emperor Haile Selassie from
It's
Ethiopia.
It's Imperial Majesty.
Imperial Majesty. See, I know this much. I almost brought a book that I bought on him, and I read some of it, and it's like, I'd like to learn more. It's
his biography is
what a great story. What a
great man.
So the Rastafarian culture is tied to him, and correct, and
to the lineage of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not everybody knows that. It's really a treasure. It's a treasure of history. It's a treasure of ideals,
yes.
and it's amazing.
Celebrated by many,
Yes, I. So and Bob Marley, of course, gets a lot of credit for
Yes,
It's
big,
true.
bringing reggae music to the world, and
big influence.
a huge influence on all of us, I'm sure. And just instrumentally, I know you're primarily keyboard players.
Yes.
Like, so when you said
Yes.
classically trained, you're
Yes.
classically, but you also play trumpet, right?
Yes, I used to play trumpet in junior high. Started playing
So on some of the recordings you hear you playing trumpet, and you play
played
drums
some
pretty,
drums,
his studio was basically, it was called the front door. You walked into the front door, you were in the studio,
that's
you would,
it.
and
In the front
you
room.
climb over everybody and get anywhere in the. It was a beautiful place, and it had, the walls were just decorated with CDs and posters and everything, and it was just amazing. The vibe in there was incredible. So, without further ado, we're gonna listen to a track that you guys produced, and I think I played on too. It's called "Jah Is Everything." I at least played on the album. Let's listen to this song. So, if you want it.
Let us pray. Let us pray. Let us pray. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. When I say Jah, I mean God.
Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Now here comes the sunshine. Wake up, little children, wake up. It's time to pray, y'all. Wake up, little children, wake up. Ain't got no time to delay, y'all. You hear what the Rasta man says? It's time to pray. 'Cause Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Jah is everything, everything is Jah. These naked fools, they say that there ain't no God. But I know I'm mad than the people mad. Behold, the King of Glory, He sent forth the rain, water in the cultivation. No more starvation, no more hungry pain. No more pain. Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. It's been a long, long time. Jah love penetrate my mind. It's been a long, long time, yo. Jah love penetrate my mind. His inspiration and His truth keeps me so divine. I'll keep His commandments and walk that narrow line. Or even though some of them have their power, they drink the wine of sorrow. They drink that wine of sorrow. Some of them have their power. Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Jah is everything, and everything is Jah. Everything is Jah. Now here comes the sunshine. Wake up, little children, wake up. It's time to pray. Hear what the Rasta man said. Wake up, little children, wake up. Ain't got no time to delay, y'all. It's time to pray. It's time to pray.
All right, everything is Jah. What do you think about that, Mystic?
Well, everything is. That's the truth. It's the one thing divided into the many. So we think it's all of these. No, it's the whole enchilada, baby. Mm-hmm. So when I was in Jamaica many years ago, I got to hang out a bit and rap with people, and I came upon the idea of the I and I. And would you like to tell me a little bit more about that? Refresh my memory, so to speak. Because from what I recall, I feel it is the way we should look at one another, and be with one another. Yeah?
I and I is brethren. We don't say you and me.
Right, exactly.
We say I and I.
Yeah.
Because I stand predominant. You understand? I rules everything. So we don't really say you and me. We don't deal with that. Well, the tradition of the Rastaman is love. We carry love in the heart. We have some people who put on locks, but that don't mean to them hearts are Rastafari.
Right.
You understand? And so them people that go around and create a lot of mischief, and that mischief now fall in the lap of the righteous man. Mm-hmm. He get blamed for that.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to know to differentiate who is Rasta from who's not Rasta.
Yeah.
There's a group
Sure.
from that originated in Brooklyn come and say, you don't have to be dread to be Rasta, which is true. You understand?
Yeah.
Rasta is a function of the heart.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if your heart is dirty
Sure.
towards your brethren, or I and I, you cannot really be, I say you're a Rasta, you're maybe a rascal, but which is different from Rasta.
Well done. Yeah.
You understand? Which is different
Very
from
good.
being a Rasta man.
I get basically a poser, right? Yeah.
A Rasta man is somebody who
Sure.
tend to want to till the soil, grow most of the crops that we eat.
Sure.
But right now we are in Babylon, so we don't have the opportunity to really do that.
Concrete
You understand? Concrete jungle, as Babu would say. You understand? That's really a Rastaman living. A Rastaman stay away from trouble, stay away from eating dirty things. You understand? Stay away from killing. Because every time you kill a chicken, say you're going to eat a chicken, it's murder.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't look at it that way, but you're murdering an animal. While Jah created us, but him didn't give us canine teeth. The animals them were supposed to eat meat have canine teeth, like lion, dog, and them kind of thing. They don't have them thing there. You understand?
And the intestines.
Yeah.
We have the intestines. We have the small intestine.
All right. So
And they don't have it.
there's many things. But Rasta, true Rasta man is love. That's where we really deal with love. Love for your brother, love for humanity, love for the world.
And there's your song, Real Love, which
Real
is
love,
right,
real
embracing
love,
it.
Real love.
Yeah.
A lot
dig
of
that,
people
man.
believe love is just,
I feel
a
the
man
same way,
to a
man.
woman.
Yeah, I think love is.
you understand? But you love your brethren too.
Love is love,
Yeah, you love your brethren.
Love your
And you want the good
relationship is
things
the same.
where you want for yourself. You want the same good thing for your brethren. You understand? That
Yeah.
means if I see my brethren and I have 50 cents and him want 50 cents, the 50 cents is his. You understand? I'm not going to say I go empty my pocket at all times for my brethren if I in need. But if I'm not in immediate need and my brethren want, well, it's his.
Do what you can.
You understand? It's his. That's
You
how
asked
that
a
is.
great question, Johnny.
Well, I've thought about
That was
it
a
for all
beautiful
these years.
answer.
Let me
More
say
than a
that,
question.
because it
That was a
impressed
beautiful
me.
answer. Beautiful answer.
You know, I have a background in religion and all that, and to me, that's what I finally realized after reading all of this stuff for years and trying to understand it. Was comes down to a very simple equation. Love is the true essence of what we are. It's God.
And it powers
God is
everything.
love. You know.
Well,
And
the Rastafarian
yeah, man. And so to be
thoughts-
righteous is the path.
thoughts and tradition
Yeah.
really was strummed up by one, the prophet, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, who said, "Look unto the east, where a king shall reign."
Right.
You understand? And the divine lineage of His Imperial Majesty coming through the lineage of King David, King Solomon, coming right through.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
understand? Which is tied into the biblical part of it, which is family into the line of Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
And the same lineage coming
Yeah.
through. You understand?
Yeah.
Same lineage. So you must look at him as a holy, highly, irie, Godhead. You understand? Yeah, you have to look at him that way.
Just
because
to-
him
just
coming
to
through
add,
that lineage.
The same.
And there it goes
iron.
into the music. I know I'm hogging, but the one thing I have to say is that the music is permeated, reggae music, with these ideas. And I wanted to ask, as musicians, how does the dub, to talk about the dub, that the beat, we know, how did that evolve? And that's somebody that, but it's connected right to the spiritual idea, because it's
Definitely.
unlike any other
Definitely.
groove, right, man? We're
Definitely.
talking 4/4, you
Yeah.
know, right band,
Dub.
different time signatures.
I'll
Dub
have
is
John,
unique.
John answer.
Yeah, please.
Dub
Yeah.
plainly, I would say, just gives you the time to think.
Yeah,
In between, you know?
Yeah.
It's not
yeah,
inundated with everything.
I get it.
you know?
Now you
There's
see.
no word.
Now I
Gives
get
you
it.
the time to
Yes.
feel.
It gives you the time
and
because
think and draw your own conclusions.
Yes.
Who is
You know
the
what I
great?
mean?
Who is the great engineer that kind of Lee Scratch Perry,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So he had the tapes. And,
King
you know,
Tubby's.
you know,
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Tubby.
some-
I
yeah.
love him.
So
Yeah.
I would say King
now I get it, man. You see,
Yeah.
it's got that, and it gives you the time to
Yeah.
think. You
Yeah.
dig it.
All right,
Oh,
two
all right.
things I want to talk
All right.
about, and then we have Ricardo Riquettes from Tribe of Djembe in the house, so we'd like to also get him up.
Yes.
Number one, can you briefly explain your name, Jahamid? Where does
that's
that come
great,
from? And I mean, the influences are obvious to me.
As a youth coming up, I always try to study the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
Then in Jamaica there was Muslims. You know, there's signs of Muslim, but few and far in between. One Muslim was Jimmy Cliff, another Muslim was Prince Buster. Those was all the Muslims I knew
Really?
of in Jamaica. Then I'm saying now, I believe in Jah. And I study Muhammad. So I link both of them, Jah, Hamid. In that time,
I see.
if I spell it the way how the Muslims would spell it, then I would have problems. but I love the sound of it.
Yeah.
So instead of saying AM, I say HA.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how. That's
yeah.
how. Differentiate from Islam into that. Now I find myself doing some Islamic music too. You know what I'm saying? I do some Christian music. And any kind of music that touch my heart, I do it.
Yeah.
I do. I was getting ready to do a Christmas song, but then when I researched, I found that Yellow Man did something similar. Breadfruit roasting on an open fire. Jackfruit smell past my nose. Yeah. Sensimilla we burn every day. Merry Christmas to you.
Howard Kumars Christmas.
Yes.
All right, one more thing, which is an amazing. Actually, two more things. I have to mention that you've been working on a new album, and I'm very grateful to be called upon many times. A few reasons. Number one, the front room. It was located. It was Browns. No, it wasn't.
Troy Avenue.
It was recorded. What's the neighborhood the front room was in? Is it still there? It's
East
Conway.
Flatbush.
East Flatbush,
Yeah,
but
nearly
it's
Crown
next
Heights,
door
close to Crown
to
Heights.
Brownsville. So the Brownsville Bike Shop, we're going to show a picture. The Brownsville Bike Shop is where Jahamid is situated. You can come visit him. You can get your bike worked on. You can buy a bike.
Yeah.
And it has a great picture there, West Indian and American records now. So this must be a classic place that's been around forever. Like
37 years.
37 years.
Wow.
So you guys must have done a lot of recording in there and selling vinyl and CDs.
You know what?
and
A
tapes.
lot of hip hop artists, they really got started from there. There's one guy, a bigger artist right now. The first time I put a mic in his hand, he trembled. Yeah, he trembled. But he's a big artist right now.
Wow.
Yeah. My sons, they used to. I have one son, he loved the dance or the sound system. And the other one, he loves producing. He does dabbling a little singing too. Mr. Bachelor. He do a little
Great
singing
name.
too. But yeah, we do a lot of music in there.
Okay,
Lot of stuff.
and right now you're working on this new album with a bunch of awesome tracks. And you mentioned I played saxophone on some stuff. You sent me the tracks. I laid down guitar, some sax.
Now,
And the producer, the
now there's this brother, his name is Dave, the brother of Tyrone Dunny. And I sent a track and he heard it. And from the time he heard it, he's singing Benoit's praises all day long. Now I brought my brother here and he played some melodica on it. And now he's singing both John
Yes.
and Benoit praises. So, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Not to take anything away from my first producer, you know what I'm saying? But he's pretty good too. So I'm working with John and I'm working with Dave. And I'm also working with my son, Mr. Bachelor, who is doing some stuff, but he tend not to use American or Jamaican musician in America. He sent it to Sly and Robbie, China Smith, and those people in Jamaica. Flabber Holt do a lot of work with him because Flabber Holt and my brother, which is Ian Grant,
Ian.
Ian now he play a lot of bass. Whenever Luciano goes to Switzerland, they are friends, Flabber Holt, and so Flabber Holt do a lot of work on my stuff too. Where it's done for Mr. Bachelor, which is the hardest working man I see. Whenever I leave from Mr. Bachelor, my throat hurt. Because he's never satisfied. Daddy, I know you can do this a little bit better. Daddy, I know you can do it a little bit. And he just keep pressing and pressing and pressing. Sometimes the first take is good enough. But he want to stress and stretch, then he pick and choose.
Yeah.
That's how he does it.
Sign of
Yeah.
a true professional.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So thanks so much for coming down and sharing your life and your work. And you can check out Jahamid on Spotify. in a whole bunch of places. I love Spotify, but you can go to YouTube, plug him in, plug his name, Champion Sound, Jaws, everything, Real
Yeah.
Love. Look out for the new album coming out,
The new album coming out is called Human Spare Parts.
Human Spare Parts.
Yeah.
And Dave, the producer, is the brother of Tyrone Downey, who was the keyboard player in Bob Marley and the Wailers band.
Right.
If you look up Bob Marley and the Wailers, you'll see Tyrone, and there's a big connection there. And so yeah, One Love. Right now we're going to invite Ricardo to come up, and we're gonna play a song. It's gonna be a little bit of a mix of Tribe of Djembe's first album, One Fine Day. I did a little mix of 4 songs, so enjoy that. And thanks a lot, Jah Ahmed. Thank you. Blessings.
Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
Thanks
Johnny.
for coming down, man. Appreciate it. It was a
Respect,
good-
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What's up, everybody? Right now we have Ricardo Ricketts, Tribe of Djembe. Rick, he's a longtime friend of mine, and we met a long time ago in like 1997 or something like that.
Yeah. So very.
So how you doing?
Good, man. Just good to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So Rick is a singer-songwriter, and he's known for his acoustic guitar playing, leading the band. Tribe of Djembe was his band. That was a quick little mix of his first album, One Fine Day. I selected a couple of tracks, and mixed that at Studio Noir, so we can just get a little taste of them. We listened to Saida Shake It, which is more of a Caribbean number. Everybody used to love that and dance
Yeah,
to that.
that was a
and then we
good
would often
concert song.
segue into Rainbow, which is also kind of Caribbean, calypso, and
Yeah, I kind of like to think I do the songs of African diaspora. So I would do, on stage we do reggae, we do roots reggae, dancehall reggae. Then we would actually from there do like a Caribbean song like "Say to Shake It," and then we do "Walking African," which is like a funk African song. And then we started off with a whole bunch of drums and one guitar. That's how the band actually got started.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man, it's like 8 drums, 1 guitar.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a Middle Eastern instrument. I don't remember what Tafik was playing, but that's how the band got started. And then we kind of realized we had to get a regular band in addition to the drums. And then, so we did all kind of music, but we are a reggae and African band. So that's what we
was
were
the
about.
birth of the band from the Central Park Drummers and the Prospect Park Drummers and all
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, Ben knows it. So we were playing. I was playing drums in Central Park. So a group of friends of mine on Sunday would just go and hang out at this club called Nels.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
then so we would imagine like 8 people coming with 8 drums, and the DJ's playing the music, and we just start playing with the DJ, and I'd start playing my guitar. So then the club owner asks us, "Why don't you guys come back? And we'll pay you money if you come back every week," because we had a good crowd and we had a good vibe going. So we were doing that for a week, and then they asked us to bring more structure to it. So we got a band. And the funny thing, the first time we played as a band, those guys had just finished playing with Burning Spear. So like,
I've seen him a number of times, yeah.
yeah, man, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's Ian Grant, that's John Man's brother. It's like the whole band, Maurice and they just came, and it was a good band from the beginning, really solid sound in addition to all these drummers around. So it was pretty chaotic but fun, just a lot of fun.
So yeah, man, Rick was a big influence on me. I wasn't on that album, but I ended up playing those songs for years, 13 years or something. I was like, I just missed it. We used to play it there were clubs I was gonna say Nels. It was right in my head. I mean, I remember going there and playing so many times with you, and what a party that was.
We were doing every month for a while there.
Baby Jupiter was a fun little spot.
Yeah.
On Orchard Street, I think.
Yeah.
And near Ludlow.
SOBs.
SOBs.
Supper Club, which is it's a Broadway. That was on 47th Street, like an off-Broadway place.
But the coolest thing was the first gig I ever did with you guys was in Boston at the Western Front.
My God!
It was Ian Grant
My
asked
God.
me to play. Well, it was the first time I met you, and actually I met Ian at Baby Jupiter before I was in the band, and we were connected as friends. So I go up to the Western Front, and that was a slamming gig, and I believe it was Fred McCondacci on the drums.
Yeah.
And to play in Boston, my first gig with this reggae band, it was a really good feeling. And I don't know if Gary Lewis was in the band or if Maurice was the keyboard player, but shout out to Gary. After Maurice passed away, Gary joined the band, and he was a real solid part of the band for many years.
Yeah.
And of course, let's just mention a couple of the guys who played bass in the band. Julian Paul played for a little bit.
Yeah, Julian.
Who else? There was a couple of other guys. It was mostly Ian.
Yeah,
So-
Ian, Julian. We had Freddie on drums. We had I'm running a blank right now.
Well, listen, we played all over the place. We played up in Massachusetts. We played out to the Hamptons. We used to do Southampton every Sunday.
Yeah.
We played in Fire Island many times. The Island Mermaid. Some of
We
you
were
might
like a
remember
serious
some of
road band. It was like crawling on the road from one place. It was crazy, man. I mean, when I think back, I probably could write a book about a lot of crazy things happened.
We could write. You could write one. I could write one. Your perspective, my perspective. Can you put the photo up there of the Tribe of Jemme on tour? Now, right there, I did a little compilation.
Oh my God!
On top is Great Barrington. Okay, in the middle is Hunter Mountain.
Great Barrington.
Yup,
God.
and the one on the bottom is from Neptune's in the Bridgehampton or East Hampton.
Neptune's. Yeah, that was West Hampton.
West Hampton.
That was.
But
a good place.
there's Abu also, the Outer
Abu,
Suba.
yeah.
I mean, he's such an incredible drummer. He's playing with
Yeah.
the Wailers now. I think he's the drummer in one of those touring bands, the Wailers. He's from the Ivory Coast. So you had Freddie from Long Beach High School, Fred McConaughey. I ended up moving to Long Beach years later and meeting all his teachers and friends. And
That's funny.
so Jawa's listed there. Daniel Dickin, his nickname was Jawa, and at that time, so I kind of put a Jawa there because I love that name, and again another Ja name, right? And like Benoit, I was the guitarist. Ricardo Riquettes and Gary. Ricardo wrote all the songs. He was the band leader. He was the driving force in this band, and his songs had all this conscious lyrics and African diaspora messages and such. One fine day, then he came up with. Years later, we worked with Philip Smart, Shaggy's engineer in Freeport,
Yeah, Philip
and
was a good
Sufferer's Anthem. I don't have a picture of it, but if you look up on Spotify, Tribe Djembe, you'll find the new album from
Yeah.
2008, which wasn't so. It's
Yeah,
not so new.
not really
but
new, but the latest album that we did, yeah.
Sufferer's Anthem, and that one, wow, that was really. Rick was always into. Progressive sounds, like blending hip hop and blending
Yeah.
little bits of different things, Middle Eastern sounds, rock and roll, percussion, and having guests. And I don't know what else really like if there's anything you want to. I know he grew up in the Bronx, and I thought that was an interest, right? Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
I was born in Jamaica. I came here when I was, 12, 11 years old. And I was lucky enough to be involved with music from, being involved with the church and just always loving music. And no matter where I was in my life or in school, I always continued with music. And then literally I was working 9-to-5 job, and then one day I was like, I'm going to start a band. But I started, I was always playing drums in the park and hanging out with musicians. And then, we just, let's start a band. And that's how it happened. But I've had a lot of songs. I have like 200 songs. By the time I started the band, there were so many different things, different songs, different ideas. And I kind of wrote like narratives, stories. And that was my big thing. I was more laying out a story, laying out the path of the story. So that was my style, like as a singer-songwriter with an acoustic guitar. So imagine a guy who's a singer-songwriter with an acoustic guitar, who has a whole bunch of drums around him, and then has a really powerful band, just different styles.
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear what you're doing now. I'd like to see a little bit of a revival of the Tribe Djembe and Ricardo Riquettes, into the world. We are going to jam, and we're going to have John Hewitt and Jahamid come up, and we're going to do a little improv. And I think Johnny's going to step out,
Yeah, I'm gonna
so we
step
have a
out.
little bit
Yeah,
of
so
room.
you got room.
But while we're making that happen, is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything going on? And I know you live upstate now, right?
Yeah.
Is that cool? We say
Yeah.
that? Is it let everybody
Well,
know you're
that's
up there,
cool to you. Ben wants to move upstate.
Well,
Ben's dream is
Well,
that
your
upstate
Hudson
is
Valley
Nirvana.
life is one.
it is pretty good up there in the summer.
Is it? Yeah.
In the winter, not so much.
I get it.
It's cold,
That's
man.
what my wife
man,
Sammy
right?
says. Is like it's too cold.
And you get
It's too
snow.
cold.
Sammy is
Don't
a
worry,
smart
Long Beach.
lady.
I'm not leaving.
Come and visit in the summertime, but
Yeah.
in the winter, man, getting out of your bed.
All right, so we're gonna jam
jam
on
that?
a song.
All right, so-
It's called "It's So Hard,"
so we're
and
gonna
yeah,
begin.
Johnny
Okay.
Mystic's gonna step down. We're gonna get Jahamid and John Hewitt in, and "It's So Hard" is basically, I learned Ian's bass line, and we're gonna get a melodica up in here, the King Tubby sound, and yeah.
There you go. You guys can get out
There are two ways
now.
to do it. You can do
I'll
it
do the
reggae,
reggae. I'll do
or you can do the
yeah,
album.
Where are we?
do the reggae thing, like the
Reggae?
album. Yeah,
All right,
I'll count it off.
Where'd they go?
You count it off. You want me to count it off?
count it off.
All right, come on in, John, with the melodica, and Jahamid, come on up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get them to jam. We're gonna start off the groove, though. Okay.
John went
1,
outside.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Did they leave? Once again?
Get the melodica. Get John.
Dear God, it's me again. I know I always ask for too much, but this time I need a friend. It's been waiting for such a long, long time. Washing dishes from 4 till midnight in this lovely restaurant. it'll be a fine job if I can get it. Just in time job. If I can get it. I woke up so early that my wife didn't have time to cook. And as I walked out the door, she said, "Honey, put your hands on the holy book." And my 3 sons, they all said to me, "Daddy, bring up some cake from your job in the sweet restaurant. Yes, it could be a fine job if I can get it. Just in time job if I can get it. But it's so hard to be trying when every step they're denying. It's so hard to be trying when at every step they're denying. It's so hard, it's so hard. But we struggle on, we struggle on, yeah. We struggle on, we struggle on. I know you won't be angry, 'cause I haven't been to your church in a while. But all us church people wanna do is dress up in the latest styles. So I hangs with the brethren on Sundays when we speak of you. We can just sing for hours, saying words that are righteous and true. Said it could be a great world if we just let it. It could be a great world when I just let it. It's so early in the morning and I am the first one on this line. As the people walk by, they must say, these must be hard, hard times. Oh, I try to remember that we come from a long, long way. Sufferers know it's gonna be a brighter day, and it could be a great world when we just let it. It could be a great world if we just let it. But it's so hard to be trying, and at every step they're denying. It's so hard to be trying, when at every step they're denying. It's so hard, it's so hard. But we struggle on, we struggle on.
Yes,
We
sir.
struggle on, we struggle on. Woo!
Djembe, Ricardo, Ricketts, John Hewitt on
Yes,
the
yes,
melodica.
yes.
Blessings. Tune
Yes,
in next week. Thank you, Jahaman. Thanks to our sponsors. You're going to be listening to Walking in the Ways of Jah from Sufferer's Anthem. That's Trabe Djembe on Spotify. Love you, people. Tune in next week. Peace and love. Mwah.
One love.
My name is Eli Kazaya, and I'm a mountain man from the north of the country. And I came with a few words in my heart, and I wanna tell them to you now. Oh, I say, when you're walking in the ways of Jah, you're alright. When you're walking in the ways of Jah, you're alright. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. My friends and I got suffer, and I hear me and you. We took the southern road out of Addis Ababa, and in those days the country was wild. We had lions and leopards on every side now. But I say, when you're walking in the ways of Jah, you're alright. When you're walking in the ways of Jah, you're alright. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. So don't ask me where I'm going, 'cause I don't know. But I have the Lion of Judah by my side now. Don't ask me where this road shall take me. I got the Lion of Judah in my stride now. But I say, when you're walking in the ways of Jah, then you're alright.